host of the Gridiron.
So now the Titans, I think it was the GM. I think it was. He was talking about we don't want to pass up on a generational talent, right? So, if we're number one, right, and he's looking at a generational talent, he can't be talking. I have a hard time believing he's talking about one of these quarterbacks. They need a quarterback, right? So is he talking about Hunter? Is he talking about Carter? Right? So it kind of seemed like he was kind of throwing the vibe out there, like if we trade out of the number one spot, right? We'd be okay with that, right? So according to like a couple articles I'm reading here, it wouldn't cost the Giants a whole heck of a lot to go from number 3 to number 1, right? If we look at the draft chart, it should cost the Giants like the first 3 picks. Now, if there was a slant, like if John Elway was in this quarterback class, if Peyton Manning was in this quarterback class or something like that, I could see jumping up from 3 to number 1 would be a lot more expensive, right? But according to like an article here, it said it might cost just the Giants their first and maybe their second pick. Picks number 3 and 34. So if the Giants wanted to jump up, and if they're like, we want Ward, we want to make sure we get Ward, right? So that's one way. Jump up to number 1, and you're gonna have your pick of anybody in this whole draft. Now, if the Titans aren't enamored with either one of these quarterbacks, they could just drop back. Because if somebody's trading up with the Titans at number 1, they're trading. I mean, it's a really good chance they're trading up for a quarterback. You're not jumping up from number 3 to number 1 to draft a water boy. You're not drafting up to grab a cheerleader, you know what I mean, or a guard or something. You're drafting a quarterback, right? So if the Titans move back, right, they know that they're going to get either Hunter or Abdul Cardo is going to be there, guaranteed. So they're going to get a real good, they'll get an extra second round pick, right? So it might behoove the Titans to trade back, if that's what they're thinking. If they, but what about here? So the cost for the Giants to trade up for a franchise quarterback just got revealed. So as I said, I mean, I'm a little shocked. I thought it'd be a little more expensive this, but right here. It's no secret the Giants need a quarterback. It's probably the worst kept secret in the league circles. Ever since their Daniel Jones debacle, it's been all patchwork and Band-Aid fixes for an organization that's yearning for any sort of stability. Since the Giants released Jones, they've been struggling at the quarterback carousel of Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tim Boyle. Oh, yeah. There you go. No offense to those guys, but none of those 3 are moving the needle or the team forward. Armed with the number 3 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, New York has a clear opportunity to fix this problem. 2 names are considered to be top 5-ish talents: Miami's Cam Ward or Colorado's Shedeur Sanders. Unfortunately for the G-men, 2 teams are picking in front of them that also need a quarterback help, meaning the Titans and the Browns. Enter their upcoming draft conundrum. Do they sit idly and hope one of those 2 quarterbacks fall to them at 3, or do they trade up to get the guy they want? So that's the other thing too. They might, they might want Sanders, right? They might be like, we don't want Ward. We want Sanders. Well, what happens if, right? If Sanders gets picked by the Browns in front of him and Ward does fall to him, they might have to pass on him, right? Or if they want Ward but they don't want Sanders, right? I mean, if Ward goes 2, and Sanders is there at 3, and the Giants might have to pass on him, So So I mean, the best way to do it is if you can jump up to number one, right? Apparently, as I said, just from here, it just didn't seem like it would be. The price tag for the number one overall 2025 NFL pick just got revealed. The Titans hold the first overall pick. Second-year quarterback Will Levis is clearly not the answer. While he can be funny to watch, funny doesn't get you very far in the NFL. They need help, and the general consensus was they were going to get their quarterback of the future with the first pick, or maybe not. Tennessee's president of football operations, Chad Brinker, told the football world that they will not be beholden to drafting a quarterback for the sake of it. No, they will be taking the best player available, a generational talent, no less with their first overall pick, sparking debates on who he was referring to and what that means for the Giants and their draft plans. Neither Ward nor Sanders figures to be generational. So it seems as though that they're heading down the quarterback road, but that doesn't mean when push comes to shove, they won't select a quarterback. Also, if that's how they feel, what's to stop them from trading back with another team to secure more assets and better position their franchise for the future? The answer is nothing, which is why the Giants just might be one of those teams moving up to grab the number one overall pick. And Bleacher Report's Brad Gagnon outlines what it might take to get it. According to Gagnon, the Giants could trade their third pick along with their second-round pick, number 34, to the Titans to get their first pick. He lays out the reasoning for the Titans. And if the Titans decide they don't care about either quarterback and want someone like Hunter or Carter in spot number 3, they could be compelled to add some draft capital and make this deal. Logically, it makes more sense than any other potential trade-up in this exercise because it limits their damage to the Titans and gives an insurance to an increasingly desperate Giants team that could, in theory, keep the price somewhat reasonable. While it seemingly makes a lot of sense for the Titans, does this move make sense for the Giants? Their first and second round picks to move up just 2 spots. If they believe either Ward or Sanders is the guy, they absolutely run this. Pick with conviction. The Giants can ill afford another year of quarterback turmoil and the carousel. Giants have 8 selections in the 2025 NFL draft. While giving up 2 top 35 picks is a lot, at some point this organization needs to do something to get this team back on track. This could be the big swing it needs to get the wheels churning again. Now, if you look at the draft chart, right, the number one overall pick is worth 3,000 points. The Giants, pick number 3 is worth 2,200 points. The Giants, pick number 34 is worth 560 points. So, according to that guy, if you add their first and second round pick, the Giants should be giving up 2,760 points in draft capital to the Titans. And in return, the Giants would be getting the number one overall pick, which would be worth 3,000 points. So the only other thing that would if it was an even, right, the Giants gave up like their first, their second, and their third. That would be very close to 3,000 points. Maybe the Giants might get like a fifth round pick in return or something like that or whatever. But I mean, if it was point for point, the Giants would have to basically give up their first, second, and third round picks to move up 2 spots to number 1. But since there's no, as I said, if there was just an absolute can't miss quarterback here, the price would probably be a little more expensive than that. Because actually Tennessee could almost name their pick. I mean, if they wanted to. If there was somebody that phenomenal there, just say if Tennessee did not need a quarterback and they're picking number 1, they can write their ticket like, this is what we want. If you don't want, well, right? Sorry, we'll get it from somebody else, right? But as I said, there's no generational, as of right now, what everybody's saying. There's no generational talent quarterback coming out in this draft. So the asking price to move up from number 3 to number 1, might come, may not be that bad. So that's something the Giants definitely have to think about without question. Is that something they want to do? Is there somebody there Are they just like hell bent on Sanders? Oh, if we get him, we should be good. Right? They might want to just go and get their guy because who knows? All right. I mean, if the Titans don't trade out of it, or the Browns move up one spot, right? For the Browns to move up one spot might cost the Browns their first pick and their third round pick or something like that. So the Browns can move up one spot and they grab the quarterback. Say they take Ward or Sanders, that might be the guy the Giants want, right? So if the Giants are just absolutely sold on one of these quarterbacks, right? They need a quarterback. So may not be a bad idea to pay the piper, go get the quarterback, make sure that way you got your quarterback, right? And then you can just start trying to fill in the rest of the roster that way. Because, I mean, if you come out here and you don't get a quarterback in the first round or second round or something like that, boy, I'll tell you what, that's going to be fun.